Alright, so since there aren't very many reviews of the 7900 XT, and especially there's no no reviews of the 7900 XT or XT Black from XFX. It's a pre-overclocked card. You can look up all the specs and everything, but it works really well. Um, it does perform a bit better than the stock card. And no, I don't do overclocking. I don't like to ruin my cards or lower the lifespan of the card. So I'm just going to go through these games here uh, just so that I can show how they perform. So I'll go through some um, competitive games first, and then we'll go through some single player games slash competitive. I guess Grand Theft Auto is between that anyway. And then some MMOs that I play sometimes. I don't play Black Desert anymore, really. New World, I do. So let's go ahead and get started with PUBG first. I'm not going to go into actual matches if I don't have to, because I want to be able to change all of the settings as I go along. I'll be doing 1080p, 1440p, and 4K all at max settings. I'll just run around for, I don't know, a minute or so. And then I'll stop. Let's check and see if it's actually loading. Doesn't seem like it. Come on, PUBG. Let's go here to minutes. So supposedly it's launching. Let's restart Steam because it's not working. Ba-do-ba-do. If I can edit this stuff out after the fact, I will. Like the waiting. Alright, there we go. Perhaps now. Yep, there we go. There it is. TSL game. Some of the stuff I do have on my internal storage. Steam library. Yeah, so these games will load a bit slower because they're loading from mechanical hard drive. Here, let's go to. Isn't there a arcade custom training? There we go. Play the training match. Since these games are all pretty optimized, you generally get the same frame rate everywhere you go. Now, at first, PUBG was not optimized, so it just had extremely high resolution textures that weren't compressed or anything, so I used a lot. What the heck is this? Oh. Well, that's nice. I'll never have to run around and have to pick up stuff. That's pretty cool. Anyway, we're getting 60 FPS. I'd probably have it be sync locked or something. Lobby cap 30. Let's see. Smooth frame rate disabled. Perfect. Here's Ultra. Desync disabled. Weird. Let's just change this to 1080p then. Maybe it's just getting 60 FPS. No? Try that. And then disable it. Nope. Nope. Still getting. Well, that's weird. But it at least gets 60 FPS completely maxed out. You're pretty much not going to have any issues with running this game, and that person's being really annoying. So I'm going to go ahead and exit the desktop and move on to the next game. Counter-Strike. CSGO. Out. Play CSGO. First, just make sure that everything's at completely maxed. sure. Disable. I don't know what texture trimming is. Oh, yeah, I don't need to. Got plenty of RAM. Yep, everything's maxed. Cool. Video. Full screen. Oh, there we go. Now it's allowing me to change that. Cool. Apply. Well, there you go, 373. Just kidding. Looks like 120-ish, 100. Yep. So it looks like it's like 100 minimum. Try out 1440. Whoa, what is going on there? I don't think it likes that I changed the resolution. Nope, doesn't like that I've changed the resolution. Anyway, that game plays just fine. Basically, I can almost play at my max frame rate of my monitor, which is 144 Hertz 4K. Most people probably don't have a 4K monitor yet, so let's go to Apex Legends. If something runs at 4K just fine, I'm not gonna really worry too much about doing the rest. No. Insane. Insane. It's ever be big. Oh, also, most people aren't going to be playing games at completely max settings. But whenever they're playing competitively. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah, good training. There we go. Well, okay, here we go.
I am Bloodhunder. You can call me Bloodhound. Let us begin with basic movement. Complete the checklist on your HUD.
Wow, okay. Well, skipping around a little bit, I completely maxed out. I don't know what the frame stuttering is about. Maybe it was just loading. Yeah, it seems like it was just loading in. No, I think it's just something to do with this spot. Nope, it was just loading. Yep, it was just loading. Now I'm doing 120 FPS. Smooth. Cool. Looks beautiful. Alright, so 120, 130 FPS. Lower it a little bit. Apply. And this game's now running at my max monitor refresh rate. So let's see. Is VSync on? VSync is not on. Why are you maxing out? Uh-huh. Try borderless window. Still maxing out at... Well, apparently this game doesn't allow you to go higher than adapter res. No. Well, it just went to... yeah, like now it's at 4K, but it's getting 100, no. I look at the sky, 144. Look down, look around for the lowest possible frame rate. Alright, well, maxing out, completely max settings, 144 hertz, 4K. So, no problem. Go return the lobby and get out of this game. Here we go. And Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, I'm just going to skip over. I'm not wasting some time with that. Whoops. Now, Fortnite, on the other hand, there's a lot of settings now that have changed. So, you now have Lumen, Nanite, and Lumen and Nanite. Sadly, you don't have Nanite and Lumen inside of the story mode stuff. It's only in competitive. Honestly, I'd rather have it in the story mode stuff because competitively I wouldn't want to use it because I don't get high enough frame rates. I don't play Fortnite, but personally I would play the other stuff. I'll go ahead and go into a solo game so I don't mess with anybody else's stats. Hopefully I can land in a spot that doesn't have a whole bunch of people. I want to change the settings. Now this is already maxed out because I got in and started messing around with stuff. It already has lumen going and everything. So go to settings. Settings. Alright, so lumen's not completely maxed. And hardware ray tracing, cool. Let's try that. Or it's gonna crash because oh, there we go. Alright, 35, 44 FPS. It still plays pretty smooth. Pretty responsive. Alright, while I'm coming down, let's change some other settings. I know that I get like 30 FPS, which is totally not playable competitively. Let's go to screen spaced, which is what most people probably be playing with. Obviously that's off. Cool. And now we're back up to 60, 50, 60 range. Of course, that is still at 4K. So, it's the quality preset. One of the other things that I usually lower if I'm at 4K is like anti-aliasing. But actually I have anti-aliasing off. And I could turn on TSR and turn it to Epic. I don't know what that's going to look like. Let's see. I get up to 94. Let's try to get on this island where nobody is, hopefully. It's 100. Let's just try Epic preset. Apply. Alright, Epic preset is at 60 to 70. Looks very pretty. The water really looks way better. Like, let's just go back to water real quick. Go back to lumen real quick. I say real quick a lot. Let's see, can't be changed while playing a match. Ah. Okay. Let's try high. Save. $90. At that preset. 90 at high. Let's try medium. Medium. Oh, it dipped down for a second, probably because it was loading stuff. 100 and yeah, it's just loading some things. And I'll change the settings. Run up the hill. Do it. Ooh, pretty. Anyway. So 110. Seems like each time I go down, it goes up by about 20 to 30 FPS. And low. Looks terrible, but another 30 to 40 FPS. Honestly, if I were playing this competitively, I would put it at low anyway. And I probably wouldn't be playing in 4K. No, I probably would, just so I can see really far in the distance. Alright, cool. So that game runs really well. So 30 FPS, completely maxed out at 4K. And then about 50 to 60 at the high preset, or the ultra preset, and then it goes up from there. Next is Elden Ring, which plays amazingly. Honestly, I don't really need to play. I really need to load this up because it plays at 60 FPS, and I think it locks everything. Come on. There we go. That's good. See, it's pretty much locked 60 FPS at 4K, and where completely maxed. At least that's what I was last playing on. Is maxed. I know I'd picked custom. It's on custom, but it's maxed. And super smooth. Buttery smooth. So cool. Let's move on to Final Fantasy VII. Check to make sure. Sadly, it locks the frame rate at 120, so we won't be able to. I wish that would lock it at 144 and just continue. Actually, I'm gonna load. Never mind, I'm just gonna pick this. It's like it's locking into 60 again. So 60. Now let's try 1440. Let's see if my monitor is locked at is at 60 FPS. Hertz. It is. Oh, there we go. Looks like that was my problem. Is applying VSync no matter what. Or something sync. FreeSync. 90. And 120, and then doesn't matter anything lower than this because it's maxed out. So smooth. And yes, I play with motion blur because it makes it look smoother. At least I play with motion blur. Well, this automatically applies it, but $90, $94, $97. Cool. Not the most demanding area, but the whole game is pretty much optimized. It plays amazingly. We're going to close that down. And go to 15. I think I'm actually going to skip over Grand Theft Auto 5. It's not really necessary. I'm definitely not going to be changing any graphical settings once I do get into the game, because anytime you change anything, it resets and goes back to the main menu. Everything's full up, and yeah, display. VSync off. FPS on. Cool. Load in and walk around this little town. Well, that looks... Okay, there we go. Textures are loading in. Yep, still loading in because it's 900, or it's at 9.6 gigs, 9.7, 0.9. I'm looking at the VRAM on the far right. And we're at 37 FPS. 34, 39. Of course, everybody really complained about this game having terrible optimization and everything. But dang, that VRAM utilization is at 12 gigs. Good thing that this graphics card has 20 gigs of RAM. Plenty. Do that. I don't get why I had motion blur on, but it doesn't really look like it does. Turn that off. It doesn't really do anything. Anyway. Not everybody's going to be playing this game at 4K, so let's check out 1440. Still looks amazing, obviously. Turn that anti-aliasing back on. Yeah, that makes it a lot smoother. And it takes like basically no performance hit, maybe 1 frame per second. And it's at, I'd say playable for playing, you know, a single player game, for sure. Honestly, 30 FPS is playable because that's what games on consoles were being played at for the longest time. So 60, get rid of that, get down to 1080p. Still looks great. And it bumped it up by only about 10 FPS. Honestly, I'd leave it at 1440. It's good, different split of the difference. This. Next game. We'll go to Shadow of Tomb Raider. We'll just run the benchmark a couple times. Alright. I was messing around with the Intel XESS, and it improves the FPS a lot. It doesn't really take that much of a hit on quality. Fidelity FX, turn that off. The aliasing. So anti-aliasing at 4K and SMAA4X causes a visual bug. Let's see if I can apply changes. Yeah, there it is. It's right Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There it is. Right here in the center, this visual bug happens, and it's only when you use... I see it's gone. See? Came right back. So I'll just be leaving it at that, since that visual bug comes up. Actually, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna go to the presets, the highest preset, and yeah, ray trace, shadow quality. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually turn this on, since that was what the game was boasting about, bragging about. I'll leave anti-aliasing off since it's about 4K. That'll be okay. We'll put it there. And just run the benchmark.
¡Hey! ¡Cuidado, niños!
I don't know what it is. I think her skin, I think the materials they used for the skin and clothing and everything, it looks weird to me. It looks kind of plasticky. I don't know why. Now this looks awesome. Trees and everything. Like, something to do with her skin. Right here doesn't look plasticky. I guess it's just like lacking of detail. Maybe it just needs a higher resolution texture on it. Dipping pretty low in the FPS there. It's still totally playable for a single player game. Still would have very smooth gameplay. I had an issue with this benchmark right here. And one of the buildings, the texture, there's some like texture pop in right on that the building in the center right there. It just pops in. And it's such an easy fix to where they can just take the two textures and just grab the high resolution texture and just lower the resolution instead of it. I don't know. It seems like the UVs, when they lower the resolution, the UV changes. The ground looks kind of weird on this because they're using displacement mapping, I think, or it's like a combination of displacement mapping and bump maps. Let's go down to 1440. So what did we get on this? Our average was 42. It's like 42 right there. That's our average. Minimum. Average max, I mean, not 97, 93. And then average is 55, something like that. So cool. Oh, 55, it's up there. Cool. 1440, apply that. Benchmark. Okay. I'm not going to do 1080p because this is probably going to, well, maybe I'll do 1080p. We'll see what the frame rate we get is going to be.
¡Hey! ¡Cuidado, niños!
NT high enough. Honestly, not that much difference between this resolution and 4K to me. And I can see it in the hair. Everything else is pretty smooth. I remember this area was getting 40 to 50, I think. Excuse me. Yeah, like, their feet aren't touching the ground, which makes it really weird. That's probably the biggest thing, is when their feet aren't touching the ground. Or even objects aren't even touching the ground either. Alright, 91. So, it's 6, 31, 36 FPS increase. So 36 FPS increase. That's pretty good. Oh yeah. Probably around that 120.
¡Hey! ¡Cuidado, niños!
Reaching them peaks. Oh yeah, it just went up. It went up by like almost 40 FPS in this area. That was 60 FPS from the original. I think the difference visually to me is that it looks a little bit more blurry, is all, between the different resolutions. But when you're playing, uh, when you're playing the game at such a far distance from the screen, which you're usually going to be doing for these type of games, it doesn't really matter that much. Your eyes aren't going to really perceive it as easily. You'll get used to it. I'd probably play at 1440, maybe 4K. Probably 1440 just so I don't have any stuttering at all. And if I were to take off ray tracing, it would be so much higher. It'd be ridiculous. Like there wouldn't be any question you'd be able to play it at 4K. Max settings without the ray tracing toggle. Excuse me. Alright, what are we gonna get? We're gonna get 115. Nice. Alright, next game, go to Odyssey. Excuse me. I'm noticing that there's someone actually watching right now. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat. If you do say anything, I gotta type in my password and stuff. What? Oh. I like that this has a benchmarking utility as well. Games generally need to have a benchmarking utility. Makes these things so much easier. No, I'm gonna check the settings real quick. Alright, so Ultra preset is already set. 4K, 44 hertz, cool. Awesome. And this game doesn't use that much VRAM, which is surprising. Well, not necessarily surprising. I mean, I just would expect more games to get up to like 15 gigs of VRAM as like the ultra, like super high end, you know? just have so much variation on screen that you're just like, whoa. Oh, I can turn on that. Get a little bit more information for you guys. It's pretty consistent. At least frame time wise, it's pretty consistent. A couple of times when I've ran this benchmark, it does have a few stutters, like maybe one. Alright, so 71, min 28, max 124. 71. Let's try 1440. Oh yeah, that coil line's coming out real hard right now. But it's because it's at 194 FPS. Generally, the coil line comes out more when you're at FPS. Wow, that frame timing has dropped dramatically, like 5 milliseconds of frame time. It is extremely consistent. I wonder what 1080p is going to look like. Got a little stutter, some dropped frames or something. Times. I think it's just when you're turning extremely fast, which really isn't happening that much. And 130 was what, it's 71 before, I think. 32. I'm guessing we're probably gonna get that 140. Yeah, probably not 140. At 1080. We'll see. Alright, let's see what this is. Yeah, you can really tell the resolution's dropping because my stuff over there on the right. Alright. Well, frame timing is down another one or two out 1 or 2 milliseconds. FPS, not that much difference. There's not, honestly, between 1440 and 1080. Obviously, the numbers aren't that much different. So you're not really going to see that much of a change. definitely looks a bit more blurry. 1440, I think, is kind of the perfect frame rate to be playing at least on this monitor. I know that when you're not playing on your monitor's native resolution, it doesn't look right. Alright. Went up by 9 FPS. Not that much of a change. 1440 is great. Honestly, I just play this at 4K and be done with it. Hit Alt F4 to exit this really fast. Cool. And now we're going to check out control. So there's going to be some floating bodies. If you don't like that, I'm sorry. That's just, it happens inside the game. But and there's no benchmark utility, so I'm just going to be in the game. I'm going to go to photo mode, and I'm going to show you guys something really cool that you can do in photo mode. Let's check this out a little while ago before streaming. But you'll see a little surprise. So I've got everything maxed. High ultra, high medium. MSAA, honestly, it does make a difference. I see the difference, but you get so much more. You get a lot more FPS, and when you're at 4K, it doesn't really matter that much. Everything load in here. Sorry about the bodies floating. That's awesome. Like ray tracing, awesome. So I was just playing with these settings, 30 FPS. Super responsive also. Like the 30 FPS, I could see this being bad and unplayable at 30 FPS, but if you're having great frame timing and what the heck? Oh, okay, so it crashed. Oopsies. I don't know what happened. I hit escape. Maybe escape actually escapes the game for some reason. I don't see why it would do that. And the game was playing perfectly fine. It wasn't. I was going back and forth between the menu, everything. So let's just see. Let's go back. Continue the game. It does load up pretty fast too. This is on my Western Digital Blue. Alright, cool. Go to the settings. It's nice that they have a resolution and then a render resolution, because that makes such a difference. Alright, let's just turn off MSAA for you guys and let's see how that looks. And I get about 8 to 10 FPS higher just by turning off MSAA. We'll just do the high preset. What did it change anyway? It didn't change anything. Yeah, anyway. Since it didn't change anything, I'm not gonna show you guys that. Alright, let's see. So we're getting pretty much double FPS, 60. Completely and totally playable. I'd play it. I keep on saying this, it's a repeating thing, but 20 or the 1440 is pretty much the sweet spot. I'll try 1080. Oh, it's so responsive at 1080. It's ridiculously. I moved my mouse just ever so slightly. It's kind of twitchy. It's nice. I mean, it's nice for some people. I'd probably lower my DPI at that point. Alright, I'm gonna go back up to 4K and show you guys the cool. Alright, cool. Make sure she's not blinking. Cool. So go to photo mode. Zoom in here. Alright. Check that out. Yeah, that's actually like the reflection of the room on her eye. The first time I saw this type of thing was in the first like RTX on demo where they were doing Battlefield. And then they zoomed in someone's eye and they were like, hey, yeah, if you're this close, you can see in their eye. That's my wife. I'll answer it in a little bit. I'll talk to you in a minute. She's not happy, I bet. Hello, is it important? One moment, okay? Can I call you back in 5 minutes? I'm doing a video. Alright, bye. She called me on Facebook twice and then called me on a phone. I was like, it must be important if you're calling me that much. Alright. We'll do New World and then honestly, New World looks better, in my opinion, than Black Desert. And I initially was thinking that Black Desert looked amazing, like they have an ultra setting that's really not meant for gameplay, but you can play when you're playing it with that setting on. You get like 30 FPS with my card, with the GTX 980 that I had. I was getting like 3 to 9 FPS with that setting on, so pretty significant difference. And that wasn't even at 4K. That was at 1080p. I was doing 30 FPS 4K at completely max to where they were like, hey, you shouldn't use this setting for gameplay. You should use this for like videos and photos and stuff like that. It's like, sure. Now, by the way, the whole time that I've been playing, my computer's about 2 feet roughly from the microphone, and I have the side panel off, so not really having an issue with sound, I don't think. Let me know in the comments if you're hearing my computer. Also, at this point, I'm probably hearing the game more. You can do it. Alright, we got a little bit of stats for you. Extra stats. That's just my network stats, I think. Right. Excuse me. Come on. You've got enough loaded in. How much it is going to load in? 900. Is that 9.2 gigs? It's still going up a little bit at a time. I like I like it when games show their concept art. It makes it just makes me happy to see this type of stuff. It's amazing that we still use 2D artists. A little bit of stuttering, but that's because it's still loading in. Dang, look at that VRAM utilization. Yeah, it's still loading a lot in. Is that 4? Wow. 5. Are you done? nothing is done. Cool. Yeah, the resolution on these textures is amazing. Alright, cool. So, that 30 FPS in town, a bunch of people are around. It's kind of like the worst case scenario of the game. And it's on the very high preset. Okay. Alright. 1440. And we're at 30 FPS still. I think my monitor is locked to 30. Try switching it around a little bit. Make sure it's... No. Oh, max FPS, it's capped at 30. Cool. So 4K actually is 62. It's 58, 62. Yeah, pretty consistently right about at 60. Now, lower it down. About 16 FPS higher. Jeez, the VRAM is going up still. I thought it was done at like 12 something. 12 point something gigs. Alright, cool. That's that. That, as they say, is that. Alright, I'm gonna call my wife back. Have a wonderful day. I'll have an update for the other stuff that I do soon.